Hey YouTube family, it's John. Hey, I wanted to bring you a 2019 amateur in the bag for myself. So without further ado, let me get started. If you would do me a favor real quick, go down, hit that subscribe button so you make sure you catch all my other content coming out, and smash that like button for me. It really tells me that you guys like what I'm coming out with, and the more likes I see, the more videos I post. Hey, do me a favor, hit that subscribe, hit that like. Let's get into these discs. So for the 2019 season, I have made the complete switch to Discraft. If you know me, you know my bag. I've thrown a lot of Discraft for the years anyway. I've always leaned on the Zone. I love the Zone. It's been my workhorse since the beginning. I've always thrown Nukes and Nuke SS's, and I've always bounced back and forth between a rock and a buzz. So this year I made the switch and I am absolutely loving everything. My hardest switch as of now has been my putters, but let me show you what I'm working with. So for anything inside the circle, I am putting with the Roach. I'm actually trying out two different ones at the moment. I'm trying out an X Soft and I'm checking out a Pro D. The Pro D, I think, is the one I'm leaning more towards. It's very reminiscent of my P2s from Discmania. I love those discs. They fly so well when they're beat in, and I am finding out right now that the more I throw this putter, the more I'm liking it. Like I said, anything from inside the circle, it's put it on the pole and that's where it's going to go. It's pretty dead straight flyer. I've noticed that as it gets a little more worked in and a little more beat in, I'm getting just the slightest bit of turn to it. If I get outside of about 40 feet, but like I said, anything inside the circle, dead on the pole. The Roach is where it's at. My throwing putters, I actually carry two different molds. Right now, for my straight to understable shots, I'm throwing a Paul Macbeth First Run Prototype Luna. I'm loving this disc. It's got a little shallower profile and no bead, which I absolutely love on my throwing putters that I want to finish with a little bit of right to left movement or dead straight. So the Prototype Luna, awesome disc. I love it. On the other side of that, like I said in my intro, you will not find me without a Zone. I'm actually carrying two Zones at the moment. I have this old orange one that I've had in my bag since about 2011, I believe, and it's my workhorse. It is my straightest flying Zone at the moment. Saying that though, I never have to worry about it going right. I can put some anhyzer on it and know that it's going to fight out. I can throw it four-handed on a flex. I can throw it four-handed with some hyzer and know that if I give it a lot, it's going to pop up and it's still going to finish right. I never have to worry about it not finishing. I also have this brand new purple one with a sweet Deuce or Die stamp that my buddy Nick Mays gave me. This disc is a prototypical Zone. If you throw it, it's gonna finish on you, and that is exactly what I need. So like I said, anything from about 180 to 200 feet in, Zone is my go-to disc. Alright, moving on, we're gonna go into mid-ranges. Right now I'm carrying 4 mid-ranges in 2 or 2.5 molds, 2 molds. So right now I am throwing a Pro D Wasp for those shorter overstable shots. I actually really like the Pro D. The only problem with it is it's hard to find, I have found. I really like the way that it goes out nice and flat and then quickly gets stable. So the Wasp is definitely a workhorse when it comes to needing to fight wind and needing to get left. On that hand as well, I have a Buzz OS. Like the Wasp, this is definitely a fighter. It's going to hold up to wind. It's going to be able to throw it nice and hard, and with my arm speed, I can't turn it over. It's going to go out there and it's going to start fighting left. Now the only thing I can say about this and the Wasp is I can actually get this one to fly straighter longer before that overstability kicks in. The Wasp's wanting to get to the ground quick, kind of like the Zone does. So to me, the Wasp is just a farther flying Zone. So that's where the Buzz OS comes in. If I need that longer flight and still have that very predictable overstability finish, the Buzz OS is where I go. So to match the Buzz OS, I actually carry two buzzes. I carry a Big Z Buzz and I carry a Z Buzz. I used to carry a titanium buzz as well. I have found that the better angles that I control, my titanium buzz and my Big Z Buzz are quite a lot the same. I expected the titanium buzz to be a little more overstable. It wasn't overstable enough to really differ from my Big Z. My Big Z, it doesn't matter what angle I put it on, it's going to stay that angle. If I want it to give a little bit of anhyzer, hit it with a little bit of anhyzer, it's going to finish. If I need it to go nice and straight, pop it out straight, it'll finish nice and flat. If I need it to hyzer, give it a little bit of hyzer, it's going to hold that line the whole way. This buzz right here is definitely my go-to. Like I said, I also carry it in the Z plastic, and this one is just a slight bit more stable than my Big Z is. If I put this on Annie, it will actually flatten out and want to start coming back to the left a little bit. If I put it on hyzer, it will ride that hyzer line very well. So there's my mid-ranges. After that, we are going to go to some fairways. The fairway drivers are pretty much the mainstay of my bag for my arm speed. I carry quite a few. So let's start off with my most understable. My most understable is the Discraft Heat. I actually carry 3 different plastics in the Heat. I carry an ESP, I carry a Z, and I carry a 2014 prototype Ace Race. If you can get the chance to put your hand on one of these, this is the way to go with the Heat. This disc is amazing. The ESP is a little understable. This disc pretty much only sees the ground. Every once in a while I'll throw it for a big anhyzer shot. And this X, this is going to sound really weird, but this might be the most overstable Heat I have ever seen. I'm not sure if it's just this disc, if it's the pop top it has on it, or if it's just this plastic, but I expected this to be like almost crazy understable. I was going to use this as my roller disc, but I have found that it is actually a very, very nice hyzer flip disc. I can hit this with some hyzer, it's going to flip to flat, it's going to ride to the right, and it's always going to finish back to the left. I absolutely love this disc. Okay, moving on from understable to probably my most overstable, I carry a I believe this is a 2018, yes, 2018 stamped Ledgestone First Run Vulture. I used to carry a Predator, and since getting this, I've actually taken the Predator out of my bag. I feel that I can do everything with this disc that I could with the Predator, and this gave me just a touch more distance. I can throw this backhanded, I can throw this forehanded. This is just a really good utility disc in my hand. Like I said, don't throw the longest, don't have the best arm speed, so this disc is pretty much everything I need in a stable disc for a fairway driver. Okay, moving on. I'm going to go to probably my most thrown fairway disc. My go-to fairway is the Undertaker. I absolutely love the Undertaker. I carry it in 3 different plastics. I have it in a Z Flex. I carry it in the Big Z. And I carry it in the very new First Run Paul Macbeth TI. Absolutely love these discs. Super straight discs, and you cannot go wrong. That about does it for the fairways. Let's get into some of my distance drivers. Once again, I don't have a big arm. I am definitely an amateur player. I like the understability of fast discs. I actually carry 4 different molds of drivers here. So I'm going to start off with the Nuke SS. I have a D-line for anything that I need to finish right. I have I think this is a crystal dyed USA flag. Hey, I'm a veteran, gotta rep the US. I love this disc for forehands and pretty solely forehands. I don't backhand this disc very often. I like the stability of this one. Even though it's a Nuke SS, it definitely has a good stability to it. So I can crank on this one pretty hard with a forehand. As long as I keep it out either flat or with just the slightest little bit of anhyzer. Definitely my go-to forehand disc. Staying understable, I actually started bagging a Crank SS for my backhand flex shots. Can't quite get this to go from hyzer to turnover, but I can definitely get this with a good bit of hyzer. Pops up to flat, rides for a little bit, and then comes back. So I love the Crank SS. To go along with the Crank SS, got to have some stability if you're playing in any kind of wind or anything like that. So I do bag as well 2 cranks. I crank an ESP and I crank a Big Z. I love these discs for forehands and backhands. They're money. They're going to go out, they're going to do what they do, they're going to finish left for an arm like myself. I absolutely love this disc, forehand, backhand. It's pretty much my go-to driver right now. Would not have a Discraft bag if you didn't bag at least 1 force. Don't have a big enough arm to throw these a ton, but I do have a really good forehand, so this is pretty much solely a forehand disc. I play this on all my flex lines. I can hit this hard with quite a bit of anhyzer, know that it's going to pan out and finish back to the right. If it's more of a touch shot, I can throw this with a lot of hyzer with just a little snap of the wrist and know that it's going to pan out and never cut roll on me. So this is, I would say it's more of a utility disc for myself, but I have a feeling as I beat this ESP in, I'll be able to do a lot more things with it. Might even be able to start throwing it backhand once I fine-tune that nose down and that snap backhand. But right now, I'm loving this force and the ESP plastic for my forehands. And the long-awaited Kong. I have been waiting for this disc for a long time. I've always loved the way the Shrike from Innova flies, and when I heard about this Kong coming out, I was super excited, and I was really hoping that it was going to fly a lot like my Shrikes, and I have a feeling once it gets beat in, it will end up being my go-to driver. I love that you can put a lot of snap and quite a bit of torque on this forehanded, and it just pops up, rides for a long time, and then finishes back to the right. Backhand, I don't have quite enough arm speed to throw this yet. I can get it out to about 300 feet, but no farther than that. So I'm really excited to see what happens when this breaks in. I think the last disc in my bag is a pure utility disc, and this is my get out of jail free card. I can throw thrummers, I can throw grenades, I can throw anything but a backhand. Pardon me, I thought I was going to die. Anything but a backhand. And that would be a first run machete. I absolutely love these four-handed. It reminds me of a really fast Firebird. I believe the Firebird is a 9-speed, and I'm pretty sure this machete is either a 10 or an 11 speed. But I absolutely love it. I don't throw this thing backhanded unless, like I said, it's just a super crazy spike hyzer or a grenade, or I will throw it for thumbers. An excellent utility disc. If you need something to definitely find the ground fast, this is going to find the ground fast. Hey, once again, like I said, I appreciate you watching. I always like to see the comments and read the comments. I read every single one of them. I love doing this. Give me that support that I'm looking for out here, and I would love to see every one of you guys on the course sometime soon. Hey, once again, hit that subscribe button for me. Smash that like button. Let me know what else you want to see, and I'll come at you soon. Soko out.